Well, hello, 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 everybody. Welcome again to Fearlessly Feral Living. This is Reverend Karen broadcasting to you from the Woogie Ranch out here in the back 40 of northwestern Nevada, where I'm a half an hour away from the nearest gas station and the nearest grocery store. This is a podcast devoted to revealing practical ways to apply new thought principles and practices to ensure successful creative living. I do this in conjunction with my third book, which is out now, called How to Live Fearlessly Feral. And I'll have a link in the show notes and information about how to buy that book pretty soon. Fearlessly Feral is a focused ministry of Centers for Spiritual Living and is devoted to the vision of a world in which everyone lives fearlessly feral, or in other words, wild and free. Our mission is to facilitate successful living. Our purpose is to transcend. In other words, to live beyond the ordinary. Sorry, if you could hear my cat in the background. I just put fresh water down and she's letting me know she's getting ready to drink water. Sorry about that, guys. And our vision is a world in which everyone lives wild and free. So we've transcended and we've lived wild and free. And it's December 1st. It's a whole new month. And I like to call this month the season of loving and giving. But it's also the season of Advent, which means new beginnings. And I'm really excited about that. Of course, I'm excited because I spent the whole month of November doing a spiritual practice called a gratitude list. Now, some of you do a gratitude list every single day, every year, or you might put list or itemize one item every day during the rest of the year. But in November, it's a deepened gratitude list 10 items every single day during the month of November, and you can't repeat an item. So by the end of the month, you've got 300 different items to be grateful for. And yes, by the end of the month, I listed perforated toilet paper on my list because I ran out of things for which to be grateful, which sometimes happens. I don't know about you, but it's been not a struggle necessarily. I've just had to work harder to be enthusiastic this year. And I think that has a lot to do with what's going on in our country. And I think we have a responsibility both to ourselves and to society and our friends and our family to remain enthusiastic in spite of what's going on. I'm not saying to go into bypass and not pay attention to what's happening. I'm not saying not to do something to push back or fight against what's happening, but I am saying we do have a responsibility to remain enthusiastic and excited about life itself. And that's what I'm all about. That's what this podcast is all about. That's what Fearlessly Feral is all about. And that's what the book is all about. So, this podcast for today, I wanted to give you a list, which is actually published in written form that I've published before. It's a list of 31 items to do one every day in December to help facilitate a feeling of excitement and enthusiasm for new beginnings, for the holiday season, for life itself. So here's this list. Number one, make cookies. Lots of cookies, different kinds of cookies. Divvy them up and put them into small containers and give them as gifts, both to people you know and people you don't know. Now, the people you don't know might get a little tricky. I used to give cookies away to the fire departments. I'd drive up to a fire station and say, here, have some cookies. And they'd say, oh, thank you very much. And they'd be gone in less than an hour. Well, today they're not allowed to accept food from people they do not know. Fortunately, I know a few people who hang out at a few fire stations, And so I can get away with it, but only if they know me. So the people you don't know with food and cookies, just prepare for that. You might want to save the cookies and give them as Christmas presents to people, just to remember them. Number two, help a neighbor. Shovel snow if you've got snow, rake their leaves, help clean their house, make a run to the grocery store for them, whatever they need. Just ask them. I'd like to help out. What do you need? Let me do something. Now, if you do go to the grocery store, smile at everyone you meet. Oh my God, this one is so much fun. Try it at any time of the year because one of two things happens when you smile at everyone you meet. One, they smile back. Or two, they look at you with suspicion and go, why is that person smiling at me? I'm going away now. It's a lot of fun to smile at everyone you meet. You might try writing some notes to people you don't see regularly and mail them the old-fashioned way. Now, I have to admit, I don't do this. I don't do handwritten things anymore. Um, I do email, I do texts, I make phone calls. I don't write notes much anymore. I try. I have some thank you notes in my drawer over here. I try. I have a tiny little baby intention of writing in the old-fashioned way thank you notes, but here's the deal. My handwriting has always been difficult to read. As I age, it's gotten worse. It is pretty damn near illegible, and even by me. So I've totally eliminated any kind of paper products from my life. So this one, take it with a grain of salt. Do it if you enjoy it. If not, send someone an email, make a phone call, send them a text, check in. Here's number five. Clean out your closet of clothes you haven't worn during the past year and take them to a local charity. If you haven't worn it in the last year, it's out of here. Number six, declutter your home. Take that stuff to a local charity, maybe a different one than where you took the clothes. Make a day of it. Make it an artist date. Go out and drop some clothes off at one charity and drop some stuff you decluttered at another charity and spend some time with yourself and do an artist date. And if you don't know what an artist date is, check out Julia Cameron's The Artist Way book. It's in there. You can probably also find it on her website on the internet. Number seven, donate a coat or a hat or some gloves to one of those coat drives they always have at this time of year. Number eight, make chicken soup or turkey soup or some other kind of soup for someone who is ill. Spend some time with someone who's housebound. Sing a Christmas carol. I do this all the time. I sing alone. Oh, Holy Night. I sang it just a couple days ago. Admittedly, I have to warm up my vocal cords in order to sing that one successfully. You don't have to sing it successfully. Pick your favorite Christmas carol, sing it. Just sing it. Now, I don't really like the lyrics of "O Holy Night." I just love the song. I love the music. It's just an incredible piece of music. It doesn't matter what it is. Now, you could sing it alone, but you could also join a group and go caroling, which may seem kind of hokey, but I've done it a couple of times and it's actually kind of fun. Try it. You might like it. Now, if there's no groups going caroling, really go out on a limb here and create your own group. Call up some friends and say, hey, you want to go Christmas caroling? Maybe combine it with a dessert potluck or something and provide some hot chocolate, that kind of stuff. Make it a event out of it and have some fun with it. Here's number 11. Take a drive at sunset and look at all the pretty lights and give silent thanks to the folks who take the time and the energy every year to decorate. Now, sometimes I go out with a camera and I take pictures of those lights, but sometimes I just take a drive and look at them. Go to those Christmas parties, guys. I know they seem endless. If you're an introvert, I know it's difficult. Trust me, you will feel better. Part of this fighting back against the lack of enthusiasm is to get out and about and associate with people and talk with people and engage in some fellowship. Number 13, however, is to give yourself the gift of self-care and recognize when you need a break from the parties and stay home and rest. Now, here's the deal. In my book, I have many, I didn't count them. There's a lot of ways to do the spiritual practice of self-awareness. A lot of ways. And there's a monthly guide at the end of the book, and almost every single month, I've got self-awareness as a spiritual practice listed every single month, almost. So one of the reasons I do that is because you're not going to really be able to know with any kind of accuracy whether you need a break from the parties or not, because you're going to lie to yourself unless you really know yourself. That introverted part of yourself is going to say, oh, yeah, let's stay home. We don't need to go to those parties. Well, sometimes that introverted part of yourself is not the voice of reason. It is not the true voice. It is not the only voice. There's other pieces and parts of you. So do those spiritual practices. Do that self-awareness practice. Buy the book. Buy the book. Do those spiritual practices. Give yourself the gift of self-care. All right. Number 14, and we kind of covered this in number 4 when I said write a note to people you don't see regularly, because 14 says call people you haven't spoken to in a while. And in number 4, I recommended if you don't want to write a note, maybe call them or text them or send them an email. So it's a little bit of a duplicate. The point here is reach out to those folks you haven't spoken to in a while. Number 15, make up gift bags. So when I was a little kid, I drove my mother crazy because I wanted to give gifts to all of the cousins, all the aunts and uncles, all the grandparents, all the parental units, and there were a lot of them. Um, I didn't realize it at the time, but that's a lot of money. Um, she humored me. She was really good about it. Well, today I still like to give gifts to everyone, but guess what? It can get really, really, really expensive. And while I experience financial abundance, my funds are not unlimited. So I have found other ways to give gifts. So I buy some gift bags. I go to places and I take advantage of little teeny tiny samples of things like teas or soaps or samples of chocolate or some of the cookies I made, those kinds of things. Lots of folks give out little tiny loaves of homemade bread. Other folks make up bags of mixed beans and put some spices in there and give those out. Use your imagination. You can come up with some gifts for the people that you want to gift to at Christmas, and it doesn't cost very much. You can spend less than $5 per gift. So do something like that. Here's number 16. Buy a $25 gift card at Starbucks or your local coffee house. They all have gift cards now. Use it right then and there. Buy the card, hand it to the person behind the counter, and tell them to use it to pay for the next customers until it runs out. And then take your coffee and go sit in a corner where you can see the entire room and watch how it plays out. Make sure you tell the person behind the counter that you wish to remain anonymous and just watch the expressions on people's faces. That one's a really fun one. Number 17, give a little extra to your favorite charity or give to some charities you don't usually give to. Now, did you know that Fearlessly Feral Living is not a charity, but it is tax deductible to give to Fearlessly Feral Living. I am a member of Centers for Spiritual Living, and all donations are tax deductible. I will share with you that I pay out of pocket for the cost to provide these Zoom recordings to you. I pay for Zoom. I pay for my computer to do this on. I pay for all the stuff. I spend hours writing almost daily. I spend a lot of time and energy in putting into Fearlessly Feral, and I do have support. And those of you who support me, I appreciate it. You can support me for as little as $5 a month. You can by subscribing on Substack, or you can sign up at PayPal, or you can subscribe to this podcast for I think it's $3 a month. There's all kinds of ways to support me, and every little bit helps. And I really appreciate it. So, yeah, give a little extra if you can. Invite someone to your house has nowhere to go on Christmas Day. Now, I will most years do an open house on Christmas Day because I don't really have any family left to speak of. And they're not in the area, the ones I do have left. So if you don't have anywhere to go on Christmas Day and you live local, contact me. This year on Thanksgiving, I had a seafood brunch on Thanksgiving Day because I was going to a Thanksgiving potluck that night. Now, this year on Christmas Day, I'll also be going to a Christmas potluck that night. So I'll probably do something during the day very similar to the seafood brunch. That's me inviting someone to my house who has nowhere to go. It's hard on the holidays. If you're alone on the holidays, hook up with somebody. Or if you're alone on the holidays like me, open your house up and invite people over. You don't have to wait for someone to invite you. Take charge. You're a big boy or a big girl. Take charge. Invite someone over. Here's number 19. I like to give tips to the folks who deliver my mail, take away my garbage. Um, I have a farrier that I give a tip to every year, a house cleaner, and the guy who delivers my water. Now, I get to know these folks after a while. I like to buy a box of See's candy because it's for a charity. There's a charity locally here that one of the service clubs, I forget which one. When you buy See's candy from them, it goes back into their kitty and it goes out into the community. So I buy See's candy and I give it to the people. But there's a few people who don't appreciate that. Like the guy who delivers my water. This year I'm going to get him one of those, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right or not, charcuterie board thingies. Yeah, they used to do them, so they were called charcuterie boards or whatever we're calling them these days. They were from Hickory Farms, and it would be like a box of some cheese and meat and crackers, that kind of stuff. So I give him that. He doesn't eat candy. He's a health food nut. So not even at Christmas, he doesn't eat candy. You can also give them money. Money's good, but I like the thought of getting the candy or the meats and cheeses thing. Number 20. Yeah, I'm sure you have some ugly Christmas sweaters in your closet. Wear them, not just for the parties. Wear them just for good old-fashioned everyday use. Have some fun with it. You go to the store, wear one of those ugly Christmas sweaters and smile at everybody you meet. Have some fun with this. Number 21, meditate on or simply contemplate the pretty lights. And as you're doing it, think of the return of the light and create metaphors in your mind for what light represents to you in your life and how to keep that light bright. You know, in December, we also have solstice, which is where Christmas came from, by the way. Just saying. Um, yeah, solstice is on December 21st. After that, the days, just a couple minutes each day, we'll start having more and more daylight each day. And I always look forward to that. And I look forward to all the metaphors that surround this return of the light. Number 22, Be aware. This is more self-awareness practice for watch for, expect your own ideas to pop into your head about how to bring the metaphorical light to someone else's life. You've meditated on it in number 21, now in number 22. How can you bring some light to someone else's life rather? Maybe offer to take them to look at the Christmas lights one night. Someone who's a shut-in. Say, call them up, say, hey, I'm coming to get you. We're going to go look at Christmas lights. Something really simple like that. Number 23, give someone a compliment. Now, be sincere about it. Don't just say, oh, you look nice tonight. Why do they look nice? Did they get a haircut? Do they look well rested? Are they, for me lately? So for my birthdays in November, I bought some new makeup. And shout out to Thrive Cosmetics. Oh my God, it's an online company. This is for the women. Sorry, guys. Thrive Cosmetics, and cosmetics is spelled Cause, as in cause, medics. Wow. All I have to say is wow. I'm wearing their makeup today and I'm loving it. So I've been wearing a lot more makeup lately and people have been noticing it like, wait, you look good. Well, that's because I've started wearing makeup. That's another part of because it makes me feel better to wear it. Um, Pushing back against the ick that's going on in the world. There may be ick going on, but I'm going to look good experiencing it. And if I look good, I'm not going to experience it as much. Okay, number 24, give or receive a hug. I had someone ask me for a hug the other day that I was not comfortable hugging. Just not. Don't like the guy, don't respect him. He was standing there and I was in conversation with another person and he just stood there and he kept standing there and kept standing there. And I'm like, what is going on with this man? So I finally looked at him and said hi. And he said, I'm just here to give you a hug. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not real big on hugs. The truth is, I am big on hugs, but I have to know the people pretty well to be able to hug them. I don't just willy-nilly hug everybody in sight. That's not me. It's never been me. And honestly, there was a period in my life when I didn't hug anybody. So I told him, I said, I'm not real big on hugs, but thank you. And he kind of pushed the envelope with that a little bit. So I gave him one of those sort of half-ass sideways hugs. And since then, I've avoided him. And maybe somebody said something to him about hugging because he was hugging all the women and telling him, it's not always well received. So make sure if you give a hug that the person you're giving the hug to wants the attention, that kind of attention. And if you're receiving a hug, check in and make sure you want to receive the attention. And if not, set the boundary. It's okay. You can do that. Okay, number 25, go to a Christmas concert. So in my area, we have all kinds of special Christmas concerts. We have a lot of classical uh, um, bands, organizations, groups that put on wonderful concerts. One year we had Bell Ringers, and they haven't been back for a couple of years, but I really like them. Go to a Christmas concert. Not music you normally go to, not concerts you normally go to, but one specifically for Christmas. Okay, number 26, get a batch of Christmas cards and instead of mailing them, hand deliver them to the people you see all the time. And here's another, include a handwritten note telling them why they are special in your life. I'm not talking about one of those year-end summary letters, although you can do those too if you want. I actually enjoy reading those when I receive them from people. And, it lets me know what's been going on in their life. Come to think of it, I might do one of those this year. We'll see what happens. But yeah, you could do this. You could also do it digitally. if you're like me and you don't do handwritten stuff in paper. Okay, number 27. If you go to church, go to a different one just to check things out. Of course, I highly recommend that you go to your nearest center for spiritual living. Locally, there's two in my area, Northern Nevada. There's one in Reno, there's one in North Lake Tahoe. So go to a center for spiritual living. If you don't go to church, go to one. And again, I highly recommend your nearest center for spiritual living. You can find a center for spiritual living, by the way. Just go to the internet to Google, type in Center for Spiritual Living, and a whole bunch of stuff will pop up. You can also go to csl.org. Now that stands for Center for Spiritual Living, csl.org. And they have a finder thingy in there where you can type in where you live and it will find centers for spiritual living that are closest to you. Okay, number 29, write thank you notes. Obviously, I need to update this list. I'm laughing at this. I've been using this list for a long time. So yeah, next year I'll update it, I promise. Number 30, contemplate how you want things to look for you in 2026. Dream big, guys. Dream big. Do not limit yourself on this one. And number 31, once you've contemplated that, write down your list. These are not resolutions. Resolutions never, ever, ever work. Ever. Don't make a resolution to lose weight or exercise more, do any of that happy horse shit. Set intentions. If you really want to lose weight and exercise more, set an intention to be healthy. And then visualize and think about and dream about what physical health actually looks like to you and what it feels like. Now, for me, health feels like being able to do anything I want to do. I'm pretty healthy. That's it. That's my intention, to being able to do physically anything I want to do. So set a list of intentions, not resolutions. So that's your list for December. I hope you've enjoyed it. It is in print form, and I will put this in the transcript too, because I've got it already in print form, but it's in print form on my Facebook page. It's going to go out in my newsletter. It's going to go out on my Substack page. So it's out there in print form, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And once again, Fearlessly Feral Living is a focus ministry of Centers for Spiritual Living. And once again, any support that you give only affirms your own abundance, and it helps us as well, and it is tax deductible. We've got a PayPal page. We've got lists of ways to support at fearlesslyferal.org. There's a little tab there that says donate. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps a lot. And you can buy the book. So you can buy the book directly from me. And my store is actually not on my Fearlessly Feral page. It's on my Karen Lindsley page. So it's KarenLindsley.com. Or my publisher, BookBaby, has a store there where you can buy my book either in print or digital form. It is not yet available on Amazon, coming soon. If you're boycotting Amazon, go to BookBaby and you can buy it there in both print and digital form. Just go to bookbaby.com. BookBaby is all one word, .com, and search on the store for me either by my name, Karen Lindsley, or by the book name, How to Live Fearlessly Feral. And I thank you so much. And I hope you've enjoyed my list for Christmas.